feel like a teacher. Cool, all right.
Your message.
Do I have a message?
I think it's her saying she's here.
She can hear, okay.
Actually, I just found it. It's frog fuel.
Is it like actual frogs?
No, it's just food, collagen, protein. I mean,
That sounds gross. That sounds slimy.
it is slimy, it doesn't look good.
Whoa.
Some of the questions you asked.
So $50.
Is it actual frog? No.
It's called frog juice. What I would deduct it's made out of frogs.
You can buy 2 gallons of chocolate muscle egg liquid.
Is red your favorite?
It's 25 grams.
No, I went to Kroger thinking they had the lime. They had the lime in the 6-pack, and I was like, no, I'm good. Top tier though. All right, so let me just before I do this. Okay, that was a message. Okay, so I'm Kyle. I am the president for the Kinesiology Club. Thank you guys for showing up, first and foremost. I really appreciate it. All 4 of you. Which is fun. 5, yeah, sorry. See, I wasn't, all right, pause. Thank you, Tyler. So there's 5 people here now, maybe even more. I don't know how the teachers tell that, but so today I'm just gonna talk about the Kinesiology Club, what like members, or what you do as a member, some of the duties, and maybe some of the possible events we can have. Just to sort of inform you guys, because I know we didn't do anything last semester, and it's just like more of a thing to pretty up your resume, if that makes sense. Oh no. So our mission is to inspire and educate students about the importance of leading active and healthy lifestyles. This is done through education, outreach, and collaboration.
Healthy lifestyle. You're almost candy.
Dog, I'm cut with candy.
Just for calories.
Just keep going, Kyle. You're really great.
So, man, it's throwing me off track. So, our mission, I already read it. So, one of the main goals, I think, for the Kinesiology Club is to have this resource for students to access as they're going out their careers. Because I knew as soon as I was a sophomore and I transferred into the exercise science program, I had no sort of career outlook, because they don't really tell you that in college. You just kind of go in and you're like, I kind of want to be a nurse. How do I do it? Figure it out yourself. Jump deep, feet first in the pool. So I feel like if I were to have a club to show me, hey, I want to go into exercise science. Okay, well, you get your bachelor's in exercise science. Now what do you want to do? Okay, I want to go to OT. How do I do that? So we have students who have graduated through the program who are now working at St. Elizabeth, and working at Children's, working in different lab settings and clinical settings that have been a part of NKU, not necessarily part of the kinesiology program because we didn't have it back then. But most of us are juniors and seniors. I think there's 2 sophomores in the club right now. So all of us are going to be approaching our internships soon. I know, at least I am, and Hunter is. I know you are as well. I don't know where you're at. I guess you're approaching in a year or 2, right?
Not internships, but clinicals.
Clinicals.
Athletic training.
Yeah. Okay, so even still, like if you didn't know how to get into an athletic training clinical and you weren't didn't know Rachel's contact info, we could provide you that, and then also we can give you more examples of how to get into that later in the future. So with that being said, here's some club benefits to joining. Networking opportunities. Like I said, most of us will graduate soon and go into that career pathway. And if you're in the kinesiology club, that's just a way to get your foot in the door. Community engagement. We haven't had any events last semester or the semester before that. I'm wanting to change that and sort of provide an outlet for students who are in math programs who say, oh, well, I don't want to be a math major because kids are annoying, but then I want to be an exercise science major. Sorry to put you on blast. But if they don't know how to get into exercise science or into another program associated, we can help get them into the program. I'll talk about some of the events I have planned or thought out, and they can change. You guys can provide input. It's not just me sort of thing. Personal growth, like I said, I didn't say anything about personal growth yet. I learned a lot from doing this already. It's only been a semester and a half, we'll say. just sort of about planning events, organizing, just getting that ball rolling. Health and wellness, I know you touched on this, of how I'm eating candy during the first meeting, but yeah, hopefully we can have some health clinics soon. So membership details, so technically, we're supposed to have a group meeting at least once a semester, which is this. But if people are actually interested and I sort of sell you on joining this, we'll have more group meetings and just sort of cascade from on. Some of the social events I'll talk about in the next slide, I believe. On board position or open board positions, so we have 4 open board positions. Honey,
Sorry, I'm late, guys.
it's all right. I feel like a professor up here.
You should. Who's sitting here?
You can,
Where did you just come from?
you ran here from
We're
where
PT.
David Goggins.
Don't get old, don't get hurt.
I've never seen you in like street clothes. This really,
No, he busts down with the Fruit Loop shoes all the time. Those are crazy. I love those shoes, not gonna lie. You can have a water and some candy.
I'm good.
Yeah, I know. If you just started running, I don't think you should have Hershey's, but I'm not a professional, so I don't know. You haven't really missed much. I just sort of talked about stuff in the what's it called? The outline for the club principles and everything like that. So we have all the open board positions open right now, so we have vice president, which would just be helping assist planning roles and everything. And just other positions, we have secretary, which is all of it's kind of just the same old. It's not like we're a fraternity or sorority where you have designated roles, like I have to set up philanthropy events. We're all sort of be working as one team in order to help grow the community. But besides growing this as a club or a community, it will look really good in your resume. So if you say I was in the kinesiology club for 2 semesters as a secretary, and then I became vice president, a company will look at that and say, well, he's done this, this, and this. He's helped out with social media posts. He's helped organize events. So compare that person to a person who just said, oh, I'm in the kinesiology club, which already looks good. But already having a board role on top of that would look even better. At least if I were hiring, I would pick that person over somebody who doesn't have one. But exclusive research opportunities. I know Keith and I talked about in the past, we've talked about there's some group research projects around the campus that often, I don't necessarily say they outsource their the people that they test or they interact with.
Right.
But what we want to do is have some of the kinesiology club students participate in those projects. So outside, you see the volleyball players. They have another one talking about alcohol and drug misuse in clinical settings. So I don't know if that necessarily pertains to anybody in the kinesiology club, but I know there's other future opportunities and endeavors with many other professors who are doing research along the campus. I don't know if you have anything else to say about that.
Well, with respect to that research piece, serving as a research assistant with faculty members, and Dr. White does a lot of the performance stuff. Dr. Lake does a lot of the interaction between psych and movement. Dr. Elkins does public health. Dr. McDade also does public health. So there are a lot of opportunities to serve as a research assistant and get published as an author in those studies. So those are things that, whether it be going on to the next level of furthering your education in graduate school, those things are going to be extremely beneficial. But also, to Kyle's point, when it's time to actually get out into the world, having X number of published studies does help. It certainly does, and it's not anything that's going to be extremely demanding, but you will have opportunities to contribute to study design and run the studies, and then do the data collection and everything that goes into it from top to bottom, under the wing, if you will, of faculty members. And you know, I've seen students once things are all said and done that will actually do their own studies. Like we got here on campus the celebration of learning, which is always in the spring, where students will present research here on campus to the campus community. So just a tremendous opportunity to, if your goal is to move on into, move on to a graduate level program, those things will certainly allow you to stand out. And to Kyle's point, as will holding an officer post in the kinesiology club. And I know, and I should probably be standing up. So I know that as we were talking and trying to really kind of create opportunities for kinesiology club members, especially those of you who are active and who are going to be participating, I've spoken with faculty members about making sure that when they start these studies to let me know so that I can bring it to you all first to quote unquote give you guys first dibs at it, because you know there should be a benefit, an additional benefit as a kinesiology club member. So those are some of the things we're trying to create. And furthermore, like guidance, mentorship, we can certainly discuss what you can do now to prepare yourself for that next level, whether it be going on to a graduate program, which my expectation is each and every one of you all in here are planning to do that. And so how you get from here to there, right? Most graduate programs, kinesiology is no different. They're competitive, and that actually will kind of turn people off. They're like, oh, this program's competitive. That program's competitive. I don't know if I can do it. You can get there. I mean, the GPA is one thing. Even more than that, your core GPA, your exercise science core GPA is even viewed more heavily than your total GPA. And even beyond that, your last 2 years, junior, senior year GPA is going to be focused on as well, because what these program coordinators are looking at and program directors are looking at is this person growing and improving as a student. If you're showing that growth and improvement as a student, and you're doing these extracurricular things that are going to further enhance you, you'll get there. You will get there. That's personal experience. That's not me just pulling something out of the air. All right. So, like I said, and we really want to try to create some experiential learning opportunities for you guys as a club to kind of get off campus and do like ACSM usually has a regional meeting over in Indianapolis, which is where their headquarters are. So being over there to attend seminars or talks and hear people present research is going to again just kind of give you a feel for, first and foremost, if the particular information that you're hearing is something that you want to do for the next 40 years. But even beyond that, just introducing you to cutting edge stuff. So I mean, it's a tremendous opportunity. It really is, and you'll certainly get out of it what you put in. So if you guys are thinking about becoming officers, yeah, it's a little bit more work on your plate as full-time students who probably all have jobs and have all these other things going on, but on the back end, it pays off. It pays off on the back end.
Yeah, going off that, I know for a fact, like when I just got voted in to be the president this semester, and one of the roles of being president, you have to keep a task list of what you've done and accomplished. And in turn, you can put all that onto your resume. So my resume, I'm not going to say it's the best resume just because I've only had a couple of jobs and it's not like I have the best extracurricular. But as soon as I had all these other experiences of planning meetings, creating social media accounts, just sort of broaden the horizons of what I can reach out and what companies will think of me.
And those are transferable skills, right?
Creating flyers, everything like that.
An officer means that you have to be able to communicate with not just your the officers, but also the club members. These are soft skills. You guys will hear that term a lot because it's the new term for being able to communicate.
Yep.
You hear people referring to it as soft skills, and being a club member, especially as an officer, you'll be working not just with individuals in this club, but there's times where you're going to have to reach out to the campus community for scheduling for events, for all that stuff. So it's a tremendous opportunity.
So speaking about events, I know we didn't have any last semester, and I don't know what the turnout would be, considering the turnout of this meeting would be for an event like I know I talked to Dr. Kaiser about well, she came up to me and talked about how some of the sports teams wanted extra support at their games, specifically the women's soccer team. They have a really important game against IUPUI at home, September 14th or 17th. It's one of those 2 days. And usually when you'll have like the college sports, the family members will show up, especially, I know for basketball, people turn up for that, but for like the soccer teams, the volleyball team, nobody really turns up. The baseball team, I know some people turn up, but it's not, like, we're not, technically we're a D1 school, but we don't have D1 audiences. And I know from my experiences of being an athlete for 10, 12 years, that when you show up to a game and you expect a crowd and there's nobody there, that it just sucks. Like, it's not, you don't have that atmosphere. So I think a big way we can help support our own school and our own program is to pull up to games, show up loud and proud, and just, I don't know, support our teams. But another event I saw, which would be cool for us, since we're all in the science of moving, is the Big Pink Volleyball Tournament. I don't know if you guys heard of that. I was thinking about registering us as a team. I don't know how many people we have who are willing to do all that, but just fun events like that. So
I know I've seen maybe at least 4 or 5 people that aren't in this room.
Yeah.
Who
one
have
thing for the meeting.
I know, I mean, that sent in to be validated to be members of the club. So I mean, there's growth. I think this may not
Be a huge turnout,
Be a
but
huge
still, yeah,
turnout.
I get it. But I think the main feature of the Kinesiology Club would be the ACSM regional meeting. I know, like, if you're going into athletic training, you're gonna wanna be ACSM certified. And one of the ways you can sort of, I wouldn't say expedite that process, is if we were to become an ACM affiliated group. So we would be in the Midwest section, the Midwest chapter of the ACSM. If we get enough members, we'll get affiliated. And what would happen is we could have, I think, 10 to 15 people go up to this meeting up in Indy in October. And it's just a giant career expo. They teach you hands-on stuff. If you're not CPR certified, you'll get CPR certified. If you're not AED certified, you get AED certified, stuff like that. So I think not only being AED, CPR certified, adding that to your resume, which you need for all your programs, but having been a part of the ACSM regional chapter would work really well for all of you. Plus, it's a good outlet for information too.
The ACSM is the world's largest sports medicine credentialing organization. From strength, from athletic training all the way up to exercise phys, where they've got specializations for different populations. They also have student memberships. So like if you're a graduate, and the student memberships are much more affordable than the graduate memberships. It's like 10%. Because if you're a professional then and you want to become a member, it's like 300 plus per month. But you have access to all their publications and all this good stuff. As a student, last time I checked, it's like 25, 30.
And if you're part of the regional chapter, it's $15.
Yeah, and then
So-
if you're a student member, that's also something that you put on your resume.
So I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. I certainly am. Because I know as you get into your twilight years of college and you go into your graduate programs, you study a lot. At least I try to study a lot. I really don't, but it's okay. But if I had access to a library of nothing but medical publications and actual research topics, I feel like if I was in biomechanics, I had an issue about anything really, I could just look it up and be like, what's this about? And then I'll have a actual publication of a real life event with real research to back it up. But yeah, I think the main goal would be to get registered with ACSM and then go to that. But another couple events, IM sports tournaments, we have a bunch of stuff coming up because it's about that time of year. I know last semester we had a guest speaker come in from Milwaukee for Dr. Kaiser's class. I think we had 5 or 6 people from the Kinesiology Club go to that. But if we have more people in the club, we can bring in more experienced people to talk about their field of study. I feel like that'd be very interesting to hear real life examples and get real life advice from an expert in that field. So if you want to go into physical therapy and you don't know where to start, and you have this expert come in, be like, hey, this is how I got started. I feel like that'd be a good way to kickstart it.
And I mean, I've talked to a couple students who are finishing up in this next academic year that are doing some pretty interesting things, and asked them if they'd be willing to come in. Like we've got one student who was accepted into the med school upstairs. So and that's one thing people don't realize with a bachelor's in exercise science, you can, because it's so broad, you can pursue any number of movement science or health related career paths. Med school is one. You guys know PT, OT, strength and conditioning, athletic training, but biomechanics, prosthetics, perfusionists, which I talk about perfusionists in 125. So I'm kind of spoiling the treat for you, Janesh, but we'll talk about it again at the end of the semester. But NKU started a perfusionist tech program. We have it on very, very good authority that we will also be starting physical therapy, PTA or physical therapy assistant program here in the next couple of years as well. So those programs, I've seen people complete their bachelor's here and go on and pursue a master's and a master's, a doctorate in nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely broad. It's extremely broad. And, you know, the steps to get there, as I said, all these programs are going to be competitive, but being a member of this club and kind of getting some of this insider information as to what you need to do now to increase your likelihood, like experiential learning, shadowing, volunteering, if you're able to get a job working in the field. Who's thinking about going into strength conditioning? Have you guys talked to the strength coach over here on campus? So this is a unique opportunity that I've never seen, right? They've got a small staff. So every semester they take on students as interns to work with Division I athletes. We had one student a couple years ago go through that program, and then he completed his degree, and he interned with UC football, and he's still there. See him on the sideline every Sunday. So, or every Saturday, excuse me. So reach out to the strength conditioning staff today. And I know there's been some turnover, so I don't know if the head strength coach is still the same person, but do that and tell them you're interested in becoming a student intern, because I think they've only got a staff of 4 100+ student athletes. So tremendous opportunity there, tremendous. And so, you know, stuff like that, we can kind of, and as I said, where the research piece is concerned, that's one of those things that we want to try to make a perk for club members, because again, if you guys are members of this club, that means you care about not just the institution, but you care about your own futures. And not to say that people who aren't in the club don't care about their futures, but you guys are doing everything you can to create opportunities. So we want to facilitate that. And where that's concerned, that also means like letters of recommendation. So I'm happy to write those, do it all the time. As will other faculty members, which you guys are fine.
I think sort of speaking on that with writing letters of recommendation, I know you're going into A&T, and to get into that program, you need to have an athletic trainer. Is it 3 of them? I thought it was 1, and then
Each one from an athletic.
Okay,
trainer,
yeah.
1 from a professor, and 1 from a.
okay. So if you don't know any athletic trainers, we can go visit a facility and get more information on that. Maybe even get internship info, stuff like that, in order to, because I don't know how to get an athletic trainer to write me a letter of recommendation. I'm not going to reach out to.
I've been interning this past summer. I've been doing a shadow opportunity through St. E.
Mhm.
I'm at my alma mater. My old athletic trainer, he's kind of been teaching me the ropes. So
See, I didn't know that. I don't know anything about that. So
That's-
And so I'll tell you another story as well, faculty, right? So Professor Hart, is on the athletic training faculty. And even though you guys aren't in their programs yet, he teaches exercise science courses.
Yeah.
So if that's where you're tracking, get to know him. Like I said, our goal isn't just to stand in front of the classroom and spit out this information. We're trying to get you guys, help you get where you want to go.
So a couple of events that, I mean, we already talked about other stuff that's way more important than events, so the order of the slides doesn't really make sense.
Oh, no,
but,
you're good.
the t-shirt fundraiser and then ping pong and pizza are some good examples. I don't know if that would be interesting or not. I don't think more sides, yeah. So club expectations, respective inclusivity. I mean, just don't be a terrible person. I mean, the attendance is very loose, but like, if you're in the club, in the group meet, and you haven't attended any events or shown any interest, then why are you in the group meet, or why are you even a part of the club? That makes sense. Contribution, if we like start getting into it and start planning events, it shouldn't all just be the board members. It should be everybody. Everyone has their own voice and opinion, and just be a professional, really. And then I think member dues per semester. I think new members are $20 a semester, and then current members are $15 a semester, but I think I'm just gonna make it 15 instead.
Yeah. And
It can even be less than that too, if it's a problem, so.
And where the dues come in, first and foremost, and this is something that, like, coming out of the pandemic, the club, because, you know, there weren't any opportunities to meet, it was kind of, the membership was down and morale was down, so we were like, well, and kind of talking with these guys last year, they basically reimagined and restructured everything, and they were like, I was like, well, it might make sense to charge membership due, because at that point, you're gonna
Weed out.
recognize, you get a degree of commitment from the folks who are willing to drop cash, right? Because otherwise, you can just be a member and then you not show up, and then you can put it on your resume. And you know, for those of you all who are going to be active members, who obviously you guys are showing up to this very first meeting, yes, it's not fair to you guys to have people who are able to sign up and just put it on there,
Right, the fam,
yeah, without, you know,
without putting in the work,
without
yeah,
contributing or
or at least showing up.
yeah, or even showing up. So that's where the membership
$50,
due came
yeah.
in. We didn't want it to be prohibitive, but we wanted to collect something to
Yeah.
make sure that there's a degree of commitment. And then furthermore, between the membership dues and other fundraisers, that's how you all will generate the resources to, you know, do the
Bigger events.
bigger events. Now, and there's also a student engagement, student services. There's an institution on campus that provides some funding as well. So we'll be reaching out to those. Now, I know they had turnover at the top of that organization, so I need to figure out who I need to contact now, but they do provide funding for those types of things. So
Yeah.
we'll be tapping into that as well. Make sure that you guys have the resources to grow this club and get something out of it and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's that. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have used engagement before at all. It's the way you can see every event that's happening on campus. So for example, I'll go to events, and today you'll see the meeting. At 3 to 4, you have an econ club meeting. So this will be the main way we would manage our time and everything. So far, we only have 6 people on here plus the members or plus the board. So if you guys haven't joined this, I could put the QR code up real quick and have you guys scan it. If not, then all the fun stuff.
Yeah, and it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not as convoluted as Canvas. I mean, you just got a couple things to click on and it opens up the schedule.
If you guys have ever used Google Calendars or any calendar app, it's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
But it just, you also get victor points for doing all this stuff.
I wasn't aware of that. That's a nice bonus.
Yeah, you get victory points for,
Victor points, you don't get anything, cause
Oh, really? You
What is
can't use it over at,
victory
you can't use it over at the,
like the
student-
award you get is like 15,000, you get like a water bus NKU. You get like 100 for an event, like, don't get me wrong. I understand the argument, but it is not. what-
Okay, so that's probably something that the university could probably, look at it and work as well. But so Victor Points is like target bucks? or
Yeah.
Except.
yeah.
I have like 140,000, I'm just never using
Yeah.
You get so many water bottles with that.
them. I'm so hydrated.
But I don't know what all, I'm sure you guys have seen the flyers out in this hallway, especially if you have exercise science classes or any other kinesiology or science classes in here. If you scan it, there's a code for the group me join, a t-shirt fundraiser. I want to get that started within 2 or 3 weeks. So I don't know if you guys have seen the t-shirts or not. I know I put them up there. But I don't want to order like 40 t-shirts and then just be chilling with 40 t-shirts at home. That would suck. But
Yeah, no, I would definitely,
I was thinking about getting one for every professor in exercise science.
well, so this is what I would do. Is like, open up the order form.
Yeah.
And then base your.
Yeah,
order.
I already have it open right now.
Oh, okay, well,
If you scan it, it'll go to a Google Doc and then or
okay,
a
so
Google survey.
can you send me the QR, is this QR
Yeah.
code for it?
Yeah.
All right, well,
I'll email you all this stuff.
yeah, did you already email me?
I might have, I don't know.
Cause I could have swore, I would have seen that, cause
I'll email
I
it to you.
usually buy one.
Yeah, I'll send it all to the group me. Are you in the group me? You get,
I think so, I think he listed me as like an officer.
Yeah, I don't know. But if there's any other questions, comments or concerns.
But yeah, no, because that's something that, I can talk about in my classes as well.
Yep.
Just kind of push the club,
Mhm.
because it's, I've got 125 and 260, so at a
Freshman and
minimum,
sophomore.
you're gonna have freshman, sophomore, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Other than that, I think, I made a new Instagram and Facebook this past, 2 days ago. Another thing I wanted to do, I know a bunch of other campus groups do it, I know fraternities and sororities do it as well, is they'll do like member spotlights. I wanted to start doing sort of that to kind of get the ball rolling, get your face on campus. So, cool. If you guys don't have any other questions or comments,
You guys got questions about it? And it doesn't have to be directly.
This is more of a comment, but I'm in like. Way too many organizations, but I have like ties to anything, so if you guys need a partner for any events to like get your name out there more, like obviously I know you guys and cause I'm part of this thing, but like if you guys want to get your name out there more, like I'm a president of a fraternity. So I can have like, I have a fraternity I can use and I have like Order of Omega and like I have like 9 more organizations on the club volleyball team, like I can get you guys out there and like if you're able to host an event, I can get our like fraternity to post it and every fraternity to post it, so it's just like.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you do, like, especially within the campus community, is network with these other organizations. I mean, it doesn't have to be reinventing the wheels we're in this silo, so we're gonna push it. You network with other organizations,
Sure.
and
Yep.
that's a good point, Kyle. It's still like, I can remember, was it, I forget which event it was, but I saw you on the news last year giving your head.
oh yeah, I was there for that.
St. Baldrick's.
Yeah, that's what it was. So, yeah, I mean, but that's how you do it. And honestly, that's how you can create some synergy, because obviously there are individuals who are members of Greek organizations in our programs, but not everyone. And so, but
So shave our heads on camera.
no, don't do
We
that.
could do that.
Unless you want to.
Me and you could.
But, just for like some of these events,
Yeah.
and it could be education stuff. I mean, you guys could bring people in and talk about health,
Anything.
nutrition, the things that you guys are learning with some of these folks in the campus community who don't, they're all physically, not all, but some are physically active, but don't have this foundational information that's the core of your education.
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, you guys could market body composition.
Yeah.
Because
The bod pod, you can do VO2 max. I don't know about VO2 max testing. I'm not signing up for that. I can tell you that right now. That's, no, I'm good on that.
you gotta be a different kind of person to want.
I'll do bod pod again just so I can see I'm 2%.
No, but VO2 max is good if, it's a good baseline to let you know. Most people don't understand, so there'd have to be the educational component, which is where you guys come in is, all right, you come in here and halfway die on this treadmill, and then we'll tell you what it means.
Yeah. I know like when I took Kin 340 for the lab, I was sort of not really knowing of what career I wanted to go into. And then I did a VO2 max and just sort of getting that hands-on experience
Oh, yeah.
to compare it to what I'm learning in lecture. That really kind of helped me determine where I want to go for my career. So I don't know if that'll help sophomores, but I know for a fact I do not want to do VO2 max.
And what's really funny too is like a lot of people who didn't maybe have the same exposure that you all had in high school, think that you can only get into med school or PT or OT with a biology major. So once they realize that you get more functional and practical knowledge in exercise science, that's a leg up that those folks don't know about.
Yep.
So in and of itself, you guys are, again, if you think about movement science, there are people that are biology majors that are gonna have an interesting path when it comes time to apply. Not that they can't do it, but the information that you guys are getting in terms of biomechanics, in terms of anatomical kinesiology, in terms of advanced strength and conditioning is going to be completely, that's a leg up in and of itself.
Well, if there's no more questions, comments, or concerns, you guys can leave if you want, or you can stay here and look at me the whole time.
You guys can drink some water, some candy.
I walked from the lot next to Kenton with that.
Did you carry that?
Yeah, I carried it. I didn't think it was gonna be a big problem. Then I got to like where the bus stop is. And I was like puffing and puffing.
Like, let me take a
And then I
break.
was like, when you're in public and you can't be like. I was like,
Yeah, because it's starting to get warm out there now.
now it feels good because like I've been here all day, so I don't know.
But yeah,